What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mind Something. If you're new here, my name is Jake, and in today's video we're going to talk about WoolyPooly. We're going to talk about my solar array. We're going to talk about profitability on what to mine, and then lastly I wanted to leave you guys with my first impressions on the Zelcore Wallet. But before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that like and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. So let's take a look at the market prices right now. BTC coming in at $16,425, down 22% on the 7-day. Ethereum at $12.24. XRP at 33 cents. Cardano at 33 cents. Dogecoin at 8 cents. Polygon at 88 cents. Solana at $13.65 and down 60% for the week. Ooh, rough. If you take a look at the farm, right now the only thing profitable for me is Kaspa. Maybe with the exception of Radiant, because can't see Radiant on what to mine. But that's at 7 cents per kilowatt hour. We're coming in at $2.72 a day in profit. If you look at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, you are actually still profitable at $1.03, and that's using an average over the last 24 hours. Let's take a look at the current values. So right at this very moment, that is only a profit of 65 cents per day. So yeah, still looking pretty grim. Market contagion is still bad. The FTX fallout and everything surrounding that is probably going to continue to drag the market down with it. And let's move on and talk about the solar array that I have. So today we produced 24.8 kilowatt hours. We have produced 1,144 kilowatt hours since I installed it about a month ago. And as you can see, we've had some intermittent clouds today. Did not get above 5,000 watts. And then taking a look at the monthly chart, today's the 13th of November. And that just gives you an idea of how it's been going so far this month for energy production. And I wanted to talk also about WoolyPooly. So when it comes to intermittent connection issues that some of you might be experiencing, I've seen a couple of comments about me having issues on WoolyPooly in a previous video. And today I woke up and once again it had stopped mining. And it looks like it was a pull connection issue again. So I took the liberty and went to the Discords, and still seeing people having some issues in there. But I decided to do a little bit more troubleshooting and take a look at my flight sheets. So looking at this particular flight sheet here, if you select WoolyPooly instead of doing configure and pool, or excuse me, configure pool and miner, what I noticed was right here, instead of having this %URL_port % sign, I had a very generic TCP stratum in here. And perhaps I copy and pasted that in there, but I don't know where I would have got that from. I would have had the US pool specifically. Now, if you do go through, Hive OS to select WoolyPooly, it should prompt you to select which of these pools you want. And of course, for me, it'd be USA. But, I don't know if it was Hive OS or if it was me that accidentally put the wrong stratum in here. But regardless, it was mining to the, to the stratum that I had in there without any issues for quite a long period of time. So this may be something on Hive OS's end, or it may be something specific to WoolyPooly, but it seems like it's an ongoing issue. Now, I did go ahead and adjust all of my flight sheets, and I recommend that you do the same. Just leave configure in miner, and then go to setup miner config, and then to get your proper stratum, you'll go to, let's pull up WoolyPooly real quick. So if you go to WoolyPooly, select connection, and then select what type of pool you want, whether it's PPLNS or solo, you'll have these options here, and you just simply select it and it'll copy it to your clipboard, and then you're going to paste that here. And if you don't go that route and you have issues, please let me know. And if you do go that route and still have issues, please let me know. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Anyways, going back to the page that I had pulled up just a moment ago, I had mined a little bit of Flux whenever the difficulty dropped yesterday. And what's odd is Hero Miner's Flux pool it seems to be down, I guess. I don't know if it's down. I'm not currently mining Flux at the moment, but I'm going to refresh this page here and we'll see if anything pops up. But from what I can tell, just nothing here for the Flux pool. If I go to a different pool, we'll say Lithium, takes just a moment and then boom, populates, everything's good to go. Let's check a couple others. Let's check Ergo. Yep, very snappy. Now let's go back to Flux. And nothing. So I don't know what's going on with that, guys. It is Sunday. Speaking of which, whenever I did have issues with Zelcore, I reached out on Discord in the, let's see, I think there's a community support, there's a general chat, there's an AMA. I tried all of those, didn't get any support for the issues that I was seeing with Zelcore. And it's Sunday. I'm not going to fault them for not responding today. Everybody needs a day of rest. But let's talk about Zelcore. So I downloaded Zelcore probably a good 6 to 8 months ago. It's been a while. And in a previous video when I did the deep dive on Flux, at the very end of the video, I said that the Zelcore wallet fees were very high. And that's because of my initial impression when I downloaded this 6 months ago, and things may have changed, or maybe I'm just showing my ignorance here. So please, I'm relying on you guys. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. But let's go ahead and pull up the desktop version of the Zelcore wallet real quick. So I absolutely love the GUI. The interface is very clean. It's, I would say, intuitive, but I did notice a couple of issues, and I'll point those out to you guys. But you have a portfolio overview. You've got payments, which consist of basically a difference between payments, income, mining, investments, and retirement. You're given all of these different little wallet categories to make tracking your crypto spending, earning, your mining rewards, all of these things. You can specify essentially what folder that they're going into, and that makes doing your taxes and keeping track of all of this stuff a lot easier. So let's go into the mining wallet here, and as you can see, we've got Ethereum and Flux there. Now, one thing that's not very intuitive is if you have a wallet with a zero balance, you're not going to see it here. You have to go to show zero sum, and then it will populate. So let's pull up a different one here so you can see what I mean. Investments. So show zero sum. And now you can see additional coins that I've added to this wallet, even though they have a zero balance. Now, I didn't really find that very intuitive. I think the default should be to start out with anything regardless, even if it has a zero balance. Especially for somebody new that's using this wallet for the first time. And then a couple other little quirky things that I noticed. So if we select BTC, you can exchange, you can receive, you can send, and you can go to details. If you select receive, you're going to get your wallet address here. That's pretty simple, self-explanatory, right? Again, we got to hit show zero sum. We got to go back to BTC. Now, if I select send, here it's going to ask you for the wallet address you're sending to, or you can have saved contacts here. And then when it asks how much Bitcoin would you like to send, as you edit this, your USD value is going to change. So if I put 1, that's the equivalent of $16,239 in USD value. And as you can see over here to the right, it says BTC. Okay, just remember that part. Now, as far as fees go on the network, we can change from an economy speed to a normal speed to a fast speed. And as you can see, that adjusts how much you're paying in network fees and how quickly the process or the transaction will process. Makes total sense. Everything looks good there. However, let's go take a look at Ethereum. So if I go into my Ethereum wallet and try and send some, I would put in my wallet address. I would put in how much Ethereum I want to send. It's going to show me my USD value. Now here it says your gas limit, and here you have your economy speed, normal speed, and your fast speed. And as you can see, the GUI adjusts. My question is, why the hell does it say GUI here? This could be extremely confusing for somebody. What if they said, I want to set my GUI to 20? Well, what you really did is you just set your transfer to transfer 20 Ethereum. This should say ETH, just like BTC showed on Bitcoin. This is I don't want to say a major flaw, but this is a flaw. And this is just from a few minutes of experimenting to try and give you guys a little tutorial on these things. A mistake like that could be extremely costly. And yeah, again, personal responsibility, that's on you. But that is a mistake, and that does need to be fixed. So for you Zelcore devs out there, get that fixed, please. I don't know how long this has been this way, but, it definitely should have been something that's not overlooked. Anyway, so going back to my mining address here. So if I select Flux, you've got your basic chart here. Get your maximum supply, your market cap. Those are all helpful things to see. Let's go to send and see if we see anything unordinary. So here we are, just as we saw on BTC. And again, this shows you your fees in sats, not in Flux, which is, I don't know what to think about that. It says Flux here, but 5 sats. Yeah, I don't know. Again, just little things that if I was in charge of this, I would be changing. But, that's just one guy's opinion, right? Anyway, overall, the Zelcore wallet is pretty cool. It's very nice. I love being able to segregate all of these different categories. When it comes to adding additional assets, very simple process. If you want to add an additional asset to your mining wallet, you just simply go up here, select add asset. And the way they have this laid out is pretty intuitive. We're separating all the Ethereum tokens into one. We're separating all the Binance, all of Tron, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Cadena, Solana. So yeah, pretty simple to just simply add an asset to one of your wallets. But again, I was still confused. Whenever I first downloaded this, I feel like it was telling me I didn't have enough Flux to create a wallet address for a coin. I don't remember what coin that was. I don't know if that was temporary, but if you guys know, please leave a comment down below. And there was something else that I wanted to point out here. Let me see if I can recall what it was. Oh yes, the transactions. So when you go to details here, one thing that made me panic, and I mean absolutely panic, is I sent a couple of test transactions. So this first transaction was on the 9th. It didn't take but just a minute or two to go through. And then this one I did earlier this morning at about 9:35 a.m. when I was going to get the remaining Ethereum that I had on Crypto.com off. And this test transaction also went through within a minute. But then I transferred 5.7 ETH off of Crypto.com. And this transaction took 3 hours. And the pending transaction showed on Crypto.com side, but of course you can't see the block explorer. They don't give you that much detail. It just shows pending. But I had nothing here in the transaction history in regards to that large transfer. And I was initially using the mobile wallet. And at one point, even these 2 transactions that had previously shown disappeared. Nowhere to be found. And then I really started to panic. And that's when I decided, okay, let me download the desktop version of this. I believe it was Rapid Mining suggesting that I try both because sometimes one doesn't show everything and the other does. So I did, and these two first transactions did populate. It did take, roughly about a minute before it updated. Hitting refresh didn't really seem to do anything. It just had to do it on its own, I suppose. But at one point, between going back and forth between this and the mobile wallet, I saw something pop up under transaction history that said wrong date and time, and it had like a red X on it. And it was there for a split second and then disappeared. And once again, I panicked. So I went back to crypto.com, checked, it was still showing pending. I thought maybe this is something funny that crypto.com is doing where they're saying, oh, we're transferring, but they're putting the wrong date on it or something because they're having a bank run right now. But yeah, basically after 3 hours, it did eventually come through. So I can't fault Zelcore for that, but not being able to see my transactions for several minutes at a time, that's pretty scary. And then also just seeing things on the Block Explorer. By the way, you can select the payment. It's going to give you some more information here. And if you select Show in Explorer, it's going to take you to the Block Explorer, and you can see that transaction there. But how I know it was on Crypto.com's end is when I went into the Block Explorer, I could only see 2 transactions. And I could see that by going to my own wallet address here. And you can see all 3 here now. But initially, it just showed these 2. So Crypto.com had not even initiated the transfer yet. So anyways, that's all I got on the Zelcore wallet, and that's all I got for the video today. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Do me a favor, on your way out, hit that like and hit the subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode.